It's soaking, soaking. It was raining hard just a minute ago. Oh, they were coming down. Well, last night it came down with the thunder and everything, and Abigail was like, Mom! I thought, all right, Abigail, come on up here with me. And she didn't hesitate about that. She just came right back up with me and, okay, we're going to sleep. And once the rain stopped, like it's stopping now, I just went, you know, she got back up to bed. I just went to go brush my teeth, get me some, wash my mug, and wash my face and stuff. And the truck stopped. And I thought, luckily, I put on my hat, my good old hat here. And okay, I go over there, not a drop, but you could tell it rained, obviously, because it rained last night. No flood, but just, and then I go in there, I go do my business. Hey, Barry, how are you? Oh, no, that's not Barry. Anonymous trucker. How are you doing there, James? I'm sorry. Anyway, I go over there, and then I come back, and it's coming down hard. Abigail, I'm sure she's in the truck. Wait, where's my glasses? I gotta take my shoes off. Hold on. My dress is soaking. Hold on, Abigail. Do you want to go outside? I asked, my socks are even wet. I asked her, do you want to go outside? And she's like, yes. And then I opened the door and she's like, oh no. She don't like the rain. Watch out, Abigail. Hi, Toga. Well, guess what? Excuse me. You guys are going to have some coffee with me. And I even got rainwater in my coffee. That's the good stuff. And you need to go outside, Abigail. Let me make some coffee first, okay? Let me get this coffee going. Turn on this morning. Yep. Let me take this off. And hold on. Hold on, I gotta get myself situated here. Well, I could read the letters really good there. I gotta put my goodies away, like my candle and my prayer books. You guys, you know what you guys step on the dirt, barefooted, or the grass, not the concrete, not the asphalt, not a deck, you know, the dirt. Go out there on the ground and hold this in your hand. Hold this in your right hand, put this in your heart with both hands like that. And thank Mother Earth for letting us live on here, because this thing will come alive. It will speak to you, but it's Mother Earth saying through the rock. I do that. I mean, I tell you what it does. It balances you. It balances your whole body, everything. keeps you from getting sick. It keeps you from catching a cold. It don't keep you from sneezing. But no, really, it keeps you from getting sick. It keeps your whole body balanced. You're still gonna catch a cold. You're still gonna, still got back pain and stuff. But mentally and physically, it aligns you up. And we live on this planet, and we gotta do it. Anyway, coffee. Cuppies. I wasn't gonna go live. What the heck? I'm in a good mood. I'm in a real happy mood this morning. I'll tell you why. Oh my goodness. Yep. There's my crock pot. Some water. Well, you see, after that truck show, that was last week, right? And this crazy girl there. That was last week, and I ended up getting a load like maybe 20 miles away from where I was. Awesome. That was right there. So then from there, I had to be there the next day, like at 8 o'clock. Okay, no problem, right? But then they called me and says, nope, it's not going to be ready till 5 o'clock. So, okay, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, not in the morning. Like, okay, so basically I have a day. I get going, and my little pods. So take these out. You can buy these at Walmart or Target or something. I don't know if they got them at Walgreens or something, but a grocery store usually has these in the coffee section. So then you wash this part out. I'll get back to my story in a minute. And then, don't spill this on your dog. I did that one time. Like about this much, because there was a bigger one. It fell off the shelf, and Abigail was sitting down on the floor, and it fell like poof. Okay, that's another third story. See, and then you get the little spoon dude. Let me turn on the light here. And then you get the little spoon dude, see? Level it off. Slap it in here. Voila. There's my cup of coffee. It saves you from all this waste of coffee. That's one thing I like about it. Because this thing will last for months and months. I know my truck's a mess inside. You gotta make sure you lock it. It's in there. Don't shake it, but it's in there. See, there's a little lock there. And then you gotta make sure it's locked. And then I'll get back to my story. And then I put it on like this. And then I'm ready to rock and roll. Stay there, Abigail. I'm not gonna get my little creamers. I ran out of creamer, so I had to go get me some from the store. Before it starts, put that in there. In there. Put that in there. I used 4 of them. Actually, I used 3, but a little extra sweetness today. Okay, now my coffee will be ready in a minute. But anyway, I was going, and so I went and got loaded. But before I got loaded, because I'm in Florida, and then I get caught by DOT. When I came into Florida, I forgot that they have like 2 port of entries. So I went through one, and then, okay, so I'm going good. I got back on the road, but I got on the middle lane, because I'm coming down 75. And then I got going, and then there was the other one, and then there was a truck in the way, like, and the truck turned off. I kept going straight. I'm like, oops, just drive right by them. Well, they found me. Because I'm coming out now, like a week later, believe it or not, because I stayed over there like 4 or 5 days. I'm coming out, and I'm empty. Truck's all clean, polished. I polished my 2 front tires and my tanks. I'm looking good, feeling good, truck show everything. And I'm going to go pick up a load 20 miles away for like $3,500. Like, cool. Wow. And that was a 2-stopper. And they were like fire engine parts. They're like the fire engine, like, all the hoses and stuff, the gauges and all that stuff, the chrome. I had 3 of them. And, oh boy, I was anxious to go pick that up, because they're light. I mean, they only weigh like 300 pounds or something. But it's all metal and stuff. Okay, maybe 400 pounds. But I'm coming through a port. And, okay, this time I didn't pass it. I went through it and stopped. Then they told me, go a little more, stop. Go a little more, stop. Okay. Okay, you need to pull over and bring in your paperwork. Okay, I got all my paperwork. Actually, the way I got all my paperwork is in here. I don't know if you guys do that. See, I got my paperwork. I get them emailed to me, so they're in here rather than in my notebook. In my notebook, they get all old and I forget about them and stuff. In this, I'm usually looking at this more than I am that. So if I go over there, all they do is like, all they got to do is swipe it. And if they want to check the date, they can zoom it. So they like it. So, hey, it works. But I get there, and on my big computer, I didn't have them on this one. I had them on my phone. My phone's teeny tiny itty bitty letters. My tablet, that's bigger. Not that big, but it's bigger. Okay, a little bigger. And then my new tablet is smaller. So I go in there, I'm thinking, oh, I have to charge this thing. See, this is my big one. And this is my little one. See, well, they're the same size. No, they're not. See, they're the same size there. See, they're little. I've had this one for a long time. It's outdated. They don't make them this size anymore. But all my stuff was in it, but the battery was dead. Oh no, I forgot to charge that. So I go in there and I immediately plugged it in. And then let me get my coffee. And you got your goodies, Abigail? Yep, you got your goodies. All right, coffee. Ooh, I hope you guys are having some coffee with me. Anyway, see, ooh, even has a touch of Mother Nature rainwater in there. Well, okay, I go in there and I plug it in. That thing taking forever to charge. And I took my fastest plug I had. My fastest charger. That thing's taking forever to charge. Bummer. And so I'm sitting there, and because I was going to get to that place right on time, right at 5 o'clock. So now I'm going to be late. Like, oh, bummer. You know, like after waiting a day to get, well, actually a day and a half to get loaded 20 miles away. Now I'm going to be late. Like, that don't make sense. But DOT got me. Like, what can you say? You can't go nowhere. I'm sitting there at DOT. Okay, well, what I did then was I thought I got to do something faster. So I just looked for my emails, you know, way in there. And, you know, I got them. Not to mention, when I went into that place, it says, before you can even go in, right, it says, push button to open door. So you push the button, and the door's supposed to go, bzz, and then you open it. Well, it's not opening. It's locked. Bzz, you know, I'm pushing the button, bzz, 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 bzz. It's not opening. Like, come on, you know. This is before I even went in. And finally, a lady, one of the officers, came and opened the door for me from the outside. Okay, then I plugged my battery. Okay, and then now I'm just looking at it because I got to do it faster. You know, like this is going to take forever. And I'm like, I got to get there. I still had time to get there, right? I wasn't late yet. So I go over there. This is a little story, so hang on. Well, anyway, what I did was, excuse me, I go over there and I'm looking for my emails and stuff, and I keep having to open the door for the other drivers so, because the buzzer wasn't working. And I'm trying to do this, and I'm like, okay, that guy needs to come in. Like, I'm doing that. And then once I did that, I found the papers, right? And I took I had to go back to my truck and get my notebook one. This big old bug. So, my father, get out of the way. So I ended up having that thing, but they were all expired in that one. Because like I said, I don't even use it. So I'm thinking, okay, they're all in here. I know they are. I was just in Wyoming. I just did this, but they're in my computer that's asleep. Tell them, wake up, and they don't want to wake up. So I gotta go around the block, like go around the back door to get them, you know, kind of. Because, yeah, he was getting email on that one too still, but it's just outdated. But, well, I finally get them, right? I'm thinking, okay. And then I didn't have my glasses, like, and it's hard to read off the little thing. So I'm just getting them something that kind of looks like it, but I can zoom in and zoom in out. Like, okay, so I zoom in and then I, you know, did that. Like, okay, I think that's it. I'm getting them. Then I had to get this computer because I had this in my bag anyway. I got this computer and I transferred the pictures from that one to that one, right? So I'm doing that, and then I looked, and I'm just doing them all, like whatever, I'm just doing them all. I'm gonna be late now. Oh my goodness, they're all expired too. I'm thinking, oh, come on. So, you know, then the lady, well, another thing when I go and ask the lady, you know, she's like behind the counter, and they got this bulletproof glass shield thing with a little tiny speaker thing, and she's like barely talking. I mean, she's talking, but I could barely hear her. And she says, and I told her, I can't hear you, man. I mean, really, you cannot hear because you got the fan going in, the trucks going by and stuff. And I told her, I cannot hear you. So she presses a button. She went, it was the same thing. That button didn't work. I'm thinking, well, thanks a lot. I still can't hear you. But I didn't tell her that. I just read her lips. It's something my mom taught me because my mom is deaf. She can't hear. So she'll read lips. So, okay, so like, I hope I'm doing the right thing. I just know you need this paperwork. Bottom line. So I'm doing all that, and she's telling me something. I have no idea what she's saying. Oh my goodness. She's taking forever. Well, I keep having to go to the door and let these other people in. I'm trying to do all this, trying not to be late. And now she's just taking her sweet time. But I'm waiting for by now, a big computer, like, what for now? She's, and then she tells me, she's coming back, she says, email me all this stuff. Well, I asked for it. You got them in this, you got to email them. Okay, and so I'm trying to do that, trying to open the door for these guys again. It was frustrating. And then I'm like, trying to multitask everything. And I don't even know what she's telling me. And I'm going to be late. I'm like, by now I'm already late. It's already, she's taking her sweet time. And then on my part, I can't do what so, okay, so guess what? I finally caught what she said. Because I sent her, all the paperwork. She says, oh, don't worry, you got it. You're good on that. Like, okay, good. I knew I wasn't expired and stuff. But somehow, some of them I was, I guess. But I sent her all of them, let her go through all the paperwork. Oh my goodness. She gave me a citation for $100 for having my axle spread. Went outside and measured and had another officer come, and with a bulletproof vest, and like, buddy, I'm not gonna try to rob you or nothing. I'm not gonna try to kill you. I'm just a truck driver. Comes out with his measuring tape. Pulls out not his gun, but he pulls out his measuring tape. And he measures my, and he was like one on the wheel, so he's the one measuring. Nope, got that wrong, so he does it. He did like 3 times. So he measured my axles. Well, obviously, this is a 53-foot trailer, and I did have my axles spread. They call me Spread Axle Dodi, remember? Well, excuse me, Florida caught up with me. Gave me $100 fine for that. Okay, I got out of there. Whatever, right? An hour and a half later. So I get there. I get to the place where I'm supposed to be, and I called them up before I left DOT, and I'm only like 7-8 miles away. And I'm looking at that. Okay, I know I'm going into residential because it's a fire place that they do machinery stuff for fire engines. And I'm thinking, okay, so I would have had to close my axles anyway. I should have done that at the truck show. But they, like I said, they caught me because the lady at DOT, she said, do you have pre-pass? And I says, no. And she says, oh, that's why you passed us the other day, huh? And I kind of caught that one when she said that. I just didn't say anything like, yeah, okay. Okay, so anyway, I call this guy up. I'm sorry, I'm late, I'm supposed to be there at 5 o'clock. I'll be there at 6:30 now. He says, he's laughing. He says, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He was afraid that I was going to be mad at him. He says, because you got 2 other trucks in front of you. Thinking, okay, at least I know I'm not in trouble for being late. But why do I have 2 trucks in front of me? I was thinking they took my spot. Nope. I get there. One of the guys, but he was a real nice guy, the receiver, the guy that was loading. Very nice, super nice. I'd met him before too. Once I got there, I thought, oh yes, I remember I was here one time. So I knew exactly how to back in and stuff because you got a blindside you. So, but there's just one truck in there. And I started talking to him because he's sitting on the curb. And he was from Canada. Yeah. Anyway, he was telling me that he was there yesterday. So they turned him down because his load wasn't ready. So he came back at 1 o'clock or 1:30 that day. It was already 6:30 and he still wasn't loaded. I'm thinking, okay. So, and then just as I'm talking to him, our main competitor, long haul trucking, they came up and he drove across the street. He parked his truck on the grass, which you're not really supposed to. You mess it. That's why he's our competitor. We're not supposed. Some of those guys, they don't. You don't in your semi. You don't park on the grass because you destroy the landscape and stuff. Well, he did that. I'm like, whatever, dude. Making us look bad. Well, okay. I mean, this story goes on. Have some coffee. So I ended up. So I'm not sitting on the street. I just backed up and parked on the driveway because there was no cars. Really tight, but I did it. Okay, I did that. Okay, I forgot to tell you that before I left the truck show area in Wildwood, I discovered after sitting there for like 4 or 5 days, when I'm leaving, I discovered my front tire was about to blow. It was like really torn up. I'm like, pre-trip. I mean, like when you got time, pre-trip it right away. Because I could have had it done, and I didn't. So that was my fault. So I sat, by the time I got out of there, it was 9:30 at night. 6:30, 9:30, 3 hours. So it really wasn't bad for me. But like I said, that guy was totally apologetic. Well, like I said, my tire. I was thinking, okay, since it's just like a few miles away, I'm just going to chance it and go get loaded and then go get my tire fixed. Because my tire was like, the rubber was like right at the edge of here's the tire, and in the sidewall, it was like starting to separate like that. And there was like big old gashes in there. I'm thinking, ooh, and that's my steer tire. So I was driving there slow, really. So, when you're turning and stuff, it's just going to really mess it up even more because it's going to put more pressure on it. Oh, okay, I got to that place, I got loaded. Now it's 9:30 in Florida. Where am I going to find a place to sleep now, right? But I knew I couldn't stay there. Excuse me. So I ended up going. Luckily, just on down the road a little, there was a Love's and a Pilot. So I go, and I'm thinking, well, I know Love's, there's not going to be no spot, excuse me. There's no liquor in the coffee, trust me, there's no liquor. I don't drink liquor. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm not doing loves because I'll just waste time and get myself trapped. I go to Pilot. So I went to Pilot. And not to mention, I spent all my money at the truck show. I didn't have no money. I gotta put my shoes on. Watch out, Abigail. And I ended up going to Pilot. There was no places except for some, what do you call those, reserve parking. And I'm thinking, well, I ain't got no money for reserve right now. But there was one that was like, one spot that was like, there was a truck here, a truck there, and you had to like get way in there, in the dark. But you basically, the only way you could do it is if you backed in there to set yourself straight. Otherwise you'd back. There it is, blocked off. So the only place I can do was back in there, that really, really tight place. Okay, that was my only option. I couldn't get back on the highway. So I thought, okay, that's it. You know, it's a freebie. Backed in there. And I am like nose to nose with the driver in front because I came back in. And, you know, he came in this way. I came back in this way. A few minutes later, I'm talking to Humberto on the phone, actually. A few minutes later, he comes back and he looks at me. He says, "How'd you get in here?" And I told him, a helicopter dropped me off. He started laughing. He says, "That's crazy. How'd you get in here?" I mean, I had no choice. I had to just get in there, you know. That's when my experience came through for me. I'm trying to put my shoe on here. Well, okay, the next morning, I'm thinking, okay, the next morning, I gotta go get, because now I'm ready loaded. But I gotta go to Georgia and then to Houston, up here near Houston. Okay, but now, okay, I'm late, but that's not my fault because they loaded me late. So I get in, I get going, and then the next morning, we had to move some guys because everybody blocked us. There was me, that guy, a truck there, and then another truck, and then another truck, and then another truck. I was buried in there. I was like the one in the corner, totally buried. And it's like 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning, almost. I'm thinking, well, Love's opens up at 7, so I'm ready, you know. So me and that guy had to both wake up the other drivers to move their trucks. You know, they were more than happy to move them and stuff. Okay, and you know, as I was pulling out, I told that guy, you know, because we were face to face like that. I told him, he told me, I gotta go fix my tire. I'm going to Love's. I told him, so am I. Okay, so we're still gonna, you know, be close to each other, I guess. So we went across the freeway, went to Love's. Tight place there still, 7 o'clock in the morning. I come park my truck. And then the guy at Love's that drives the little pickup trucks, the mobile units, he says, "Ma'am, can you move your truck? Because I got to park right there." And I'm like, okay, but I was just going to go in there. But he says, "Yeah, I just need you to back up a little bit." I told him, okay. But when I started to back up, that other driver came and stopped. So I come back up anymore. Oh, okay. Now I got to move my truck so that he can get in. But I need to go in there. Not that I was trying to race that other guy to get there, but I'm thinking, you know, time-wise, right? So I go over there, and I saw he got out of his truck and he started walking in. So I'm like, so I went and move my truck out of the way. And I walk in. He was such a sweetheart. You know, when I walked in there, he says, she was here first, you know. You go and take her first. And I told him, no, you go ahead. He says, no, you go ahead. So he let me in first. So I checked in first. You know, I told him I need a tire and stuff, blah, blah, blah. I got that from Umberto. I don't want to start saying that, please. Umberto, I don't want to pick up your habits. So anyway, never mind that blah stuff. Anyway, so I go in there and, oh my goodness, he goes in there and it was this trailer tire that needed to be fixed. My steer tire, they told me, well, I have a steer spare tire in my trailer. They told me, no, we can't use that one. You got to buy a new one. I'm thinking that's kind of like a sales gimmick so that they can make money. Okay, so I had to buy a tire. And then I looked at the other one. The other one was really low in tread. So, no sense in having a brand new tire and a worn out tire. So you got to buy two tires. And then I'm sitting there waiting. I see him, that other driver. He's ready, done, and gone. Like, bye, see you later. This was what, 9 o'clock? I'm waiting there and waiting. And then they call me and they tell me, well, ma'am, your brakes, you don't got no front brakes. So I had to get some brake shoes, brake drums, and 2 new front tires. I ended up leaving at about 3:30, 4 o'clock that day. So now I'm really late, like 2 days late now. I get to the place, right, in Georgia, which was like 300 miles away. The next morning, because I'm thinking, I got up really early. I'm not going to drive at night now. That's dangerous. Besides, I already went through that no parking place where in the East Coast you don't find no parking. So I just shut down. As soon as I got out of that truck stop, about 4 o'clock, I just shut down. I found me a spot. I went to sleep. But I still had like 300 miles to go. I get to the place the next day. And I told them, I'm sorry, got here late, you know. And I told them why and stuff. And they were like, oh, don't worry about it. But now, you got to back up. I'm thinking, okay, because you're going to get loaded on the other side of the building. Okay, a trash truck came. And he's swapping his dumpsters this way and that way and moving them. And then he parked one dumpster, and then he couldn't get through. I'm looking at him. I'm thinking, you idiot. He dumped his trailer off, and then he couldn't get through because he had to be next to it. He didn't have enough sense to move it to the side so he can drop that and then go around and get another. So I'm sitting there waiting for about another hour. Okay, fine. I get unloaded. I'm out of there. Because I still got Houston to go deliver to by Friday before they close. I'm coming now. Light load. I am flying. Oh my goodness. Friday, excuse me, I'm coming. And, well, that was Thursday when I left. And then, because it was a long way, it was like 1,100 miles away. So, that's going to be like a 2-dayer. I get we stopped. Nice, beautiful place in Mississippi. Except Abigail couldn't use the restroom. Because there's stickers all over the grass. And she's like, oh, she's poor thing, she was all bummed out. Well, anyway, after we got out of there, after Mississippi, sleeping in Mississippi, we kept on coming. I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I knew I had to be there. So I hadn't done that in a while. I am rushing, and it was just pouring rain, so I couldn't even really drive as fast as I'd like to with some really fragile stuff on me. Not to mention I had to strap them down in the bottom. You couldn't put a strap on top. So, you got to be careful that they don't tip. I had 3 straps on each, tight as I could. So I'm coming. And then it's Friday and traffic hour in Houston. I'm thinking, well, first there was an accident, so I got to slow down. And then there's construction. Oh, okay, I got to slow down. And then there's Houston. Oh, okay. Friday evening traffic. I'm watching the clock. I am racing to get there. I got there 10 minutes before they closed. 10 minutes. Otherwise, I would have had to sit and wait for the weekend to get unloaded. Oh my goodness, I made it. Because once I got to the place, my GPS dropped me off in a field. There you are. You have arrived. Like, no, I have not, because this is a field. So I'm parked on the side of the road, re-looking where this address is, and it's still another, like, 24 miles away. And I was going to get there like 15 minutes before. And I'm thinking, you can't drive 24 miles in 10 minutes or in 15 minutes. And I'm thinking, oh, I messed up, I tried. Nope. I wasn't going to go all the way down this highway and then, because it's like on the other side of the highway, keep on going for another 7 miles and then come back just to turn around. I'm thinking, I'm going to find a way to cross this freeway. Okay, so I did. I found a way to, make that kind of like illegal turn. So I did that. And once I got there, saved myself a good 14 miles there. So I turned around and I'm like right in front of the place. So I drove in there. Not to mention I passed and I drove in there. Oh my goodness. 5 minutes before they shut down to load me. And it was on Friday evening. I made it. Ooh, I patted myself on the back for that one. That one was a racer. And I usually don't eat a lot, but I was just, because I couldn't get sleepy. And I had to stop and use the bathroom a lot. So I couldn't even take Abigail out, because when she goes out, she likes to take her time and stuff. I'm sorry, I didn't have time for that. So, and then Mississippi, full of stickers. And then now we're in Texas or something, full of stickers. Speaking of which, Abigail needs to go out now in a minute. But anyway, I got unloaded. They took, because I had 3 of them, they took 2 of them. They took 1 off in Georgia and then 2 of them off here in Houston. I'm in Houston. And I'm thinking, oh, good. So I called my dispatcher. I told him, I made it. I'm empty. He says, I knew you could, And, he was complimenting me and stuff. He says, I've been saving this one for you. And I got this one going from Houston. You pick up Monday morning and you deliver it to Fort Collins whenever you want. But you got to pick it up on Monday morning at 8 o'clock. And you got the weekend off. Thinking, oh, all right. So I did that. But see, either way, if I wouldn't have made it, I would have had the weekend off and it got unloaded Monday morning. And then I would have been calling my dispatcher. But when, you like to keep your appointments, you say you're going to be there, at least try your best to get there. Well, that's what I did. Even though it was late, they didn't mind that those guys didn't mind, because they just put it in their stock. But I was racing for my time, and I told them I'd be there. Not to mention, when I called the lady, I'm talking to the lady, and she's telling me, no, this is East Coast. Well, I didn't realize I was talking to the lady in Georgia, the one that I had just delivered to the day before. And so she's giving me all their information. Same company, by the way. But, you know, because she's trying to tell me that Texas is East Coast, you know, Eastern Standard Time. I know darn well it ain't Eastern Standard Time. Texas isn't. It's by the Gulf of Mexico, not the Pacific Ocean. It's Central Standard Time. So I made it. And voila, here I am now. And I came yesterday, found myself a place to park, not far away from my pickup in tomorrow morning. And but it was just hot, humid. Coffee is good, by the way. I'm ready down to like. I like my coffee, like me, sweet and blonde. But anyway, that's truck driving for you. And one thing I gotta say is, be safe out there, you know. And you wanna go outside, Abigail? Come on, let's go outside with Abigail. That's her little tail. See, she's all happy. I love her little tail, the way it wags. It's windy. You're drinking tea? Stay right there, Abigail. Stay. I'm gonna get my coffee. You don't drink coffee? Anyway, it's pretty here. It's just too humid here. I'm at Lux, and I'm showing you around. There's my truck. But you might not be able to see it now, but yeah, when it's clean, all those tanks are polished. They look so cool. And they polished my front tires too. They're like really good. Well, I hope you guys are doing okay. I don't know if it's still on. Am I on? I think so. Okay, you ready to go in now? Huh? Come on. I'm going, put my coffee back. Come on. Come on. Come. I'm not going to let her out too much today now. Not right now, anyway. See? Come on. the bottom of my skirt is soaking. It's really wet. She wants breakfast is what she wants. Hold on. I have to pick up my skirt so that I don't rip it off when I'm coming upstairs to my truck. And my skirt's all wet. Ah, there. So, yeah. And not to mention, I'm going to Fort Collins. I lived in Denver for 29 years. Basically, Fort Collins is north of Denver. And Fort Collins was one of the places that I wanted to move. But I ended up moving to Johnstown, which is a little further south. And yeah, it's a nice little town, but now it's like totally jammed with people. Okay, Arizona and Colorado, they got, aside from Florida and Texas, right? Like those 4 states. But Arizona and Colorado, they got jammed up with people. New Mexico, everybody left New Mexico, and everybody left Wyoming. It's not because of like everybody left California and New York. Everybody from New York went to Florida. Everybody from California went to Texas. But they also went to Colorado and also went to Arizona. And but the sizes of the states are like the same thing, and they're right next door to each other. But Wyoming still has their, I want to say, heritage. Wyoming is still Wyoming. And New Mexico is still New Mexico. They still have their original heritage. That's the good thing about it. But the bad thing about it is the economy in both those states. It sucks. That's why nobody's going there. But the heritage is, the economy will come back. It'll kick in, a few years or something. 10 years or something like that. But they can hold their own. But like Colorado, it's like gotten really populated. So when I used to live in Colorado, it was nice. There wasn't a lot of people. Just like in Florida, there wasn't a lot of people. There was Floridians, I guess they call them. And the New Yorkers used to be in New York. And the Texans used to be in Texans. And the Californians used to be in California. And but now, because of the politics and all that, it's changed. Now, Texas is fat with people. Florida's fat with people. When I say fat, I mean, population-wise. But there's some states that are not, yeah. Anyway, I thought I'd go live for a little bit. And thanks for coming in, Anonymous Trucker and Toga. And there was a few other people came in, but didn't say nothing. Excuse me. Gotta clear my throat. Well, it cleared up a lot, huh? And thanks for coming in. And I am working on some artwork today. I will be working on artwork all day long. I got some really cool stuff coming out. It's some cool stuff coming out, and that's what I'm gonna be doing all day. Thanks for coming in, guys, and you guys have a great day. Okay, have some coffee or tea, or me. Or I'm just kidding. You know, coffee, tea, or me. That's like a saying. You know. Anyway, as a friend, I love you guys. We'll see you later. Bye bye.